Welcome to the 90 Degree Show, the sports center for college marching bands where we recap the ultimate battles from this weekend. And now, here's our host, the Phantom Podcaster himself, Joe Beard.
Y'all, welcome to the 90 Degree Show. I'm your host, Joe Beard. Happy to be of service to you. We appreciate all those listening in podcast form or watching live through Twitch, Periscope, the blog, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, or wherever you are on the interwebs. At the end of the show, if you decide you like the show, then we appreciate a donation in the network. If you feel so in your heart, of course, just simply go to themarchingpodcast.com and click on the donate button to help improve the show and help build our scholarship fund. All right. We'll go ahead and kick off the show today. Our lovely panelists are here. Let's say hello to them. Let's go ahead and say hello to the editor and founder of blockusup.com, Mr. Ernest Stackhouse. How you doing in this podcast, sir?
What's up, everybody? I'm good, man. As you can see, I'm on the road, on my way back from South Carolina, man. Judged a band competition this weekend, the Darlington Battle of the Bands. Saw some great high school programs. Saw North Carolina A&T, saw Benedict. So had a great time in my old stumping grounds, Darlington. It's a unique story behind that because that was my first gig out of college as a band director.
Nice.
Taught there for 8.5 years. And now my former student, Brandon Johnson, he's the band director there. So it's come full circle.
Yeah, man, that's cool. It's a trip how that works. How we be in one situation the next, and then next thing you know, they taking over. I know that's the
right.
Same. Like a lot of people that march with me, they're like band directors, or like you, Ernest. Like all the
Right.
people that march with you, they're like Ernest, a band director now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what's up, man. That's what's up. And hello, and of course, last but not least, the one and only, the greatest of all time, Morgan State's own, Miss Bridget Bell. How you doing in this podcast, ma'am?
Hey, good evening. How's everybody doing?
Doing well.
Good.
I wanted to say hello to you guys, and you know how we always start off the show with our shout-outs and whatever happened with us this week. So, Bridget, I asked you what happened with you this week, what was going on, anything special, and what was going on with you this week before you started the podcast.
Okay, so I do have some, this is the first week I've actually taken notes so I ain't forget stuff. This binder, I'm going to give a shout out to Joe, because this binder's for you, just for today's show.
Uh-oh.
I'm ready for you. So that's my first shout out. So several things. I'm trying to tell you, I had to bring out the composition though, but I was like, I ain't gonna forget all this stuff today. I'm ready for you. Anywho, but let me give them a shout out. So hey everybody, welcome back for this week. We're excited. I have a few shout outs. First of all, let me give you the first shout out. So people who know me know I'm not a movie person. I don't do the movies. I feel like I waste 2 hours of my life sitting there just doing nothing. But I actually went to see the movie Harriet, and not only did I go see it one time, but I've seen it twice. It is outstanding. Great production. I learned some things. Like I felt like I knew the story of Harriet, but really I think they did a great job. The soundtrack is phenomenal. I actually downloaded the soundtrack. So great job for the team that worked on the movie Harriet. Go see it. I took my little person to go see it. I was a little nervous to take it the first time. Didn't know, if the language or if it was going to be too graphic. But she was walking around the house from the commercial. She kept saying, I'm going to be free or die. And I was like, let me take this girl to see this movie so she can see it. So we went last night. I took her back last night, and she woke up this morning. She was like, I just can't stop thinking about that movie. So really, it is. They did an outstanding job with it. So take your family. I think this is something we should all get behind and support. I think they did a great job telling that story. That's my first shout out. My second shout out is to my high school. I'm a proud alumnus of Western Senior High School. This year, my school, and let me give you a history. We're the oldest all-female high school in the country. Public all girl high school in the country. So I went to an all girl high school, which is a whole nother conversation. That's how I actually ended
It
up on.
is.
Right.
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
that yeah. So I actually went there playing clarinet. And when I got there, of course, you go to all girl high school, public high school, everybody coming there playing flute and clarinet. He's like, I need some people to switch. And so that school is the reason why I'm actually turned out to be a tuba player. Well, this week on Friday, we celebrated 175 years of existence, which is a very long time. And so, really, when I say it's an outstanding school. So, shout out to Western Senior High School right here in Baltimore, Maryland. My high school, my former high school. So, happy birthday to Dear Western, as we say. Happy birthday to Dear Western. And then I have a couple more shout outs. Y'all bear with me for a second. I got to give a shout out to I'm going to give a shout out to Jefferson Davidson High School in Montgomery, Alabama. That's my first shout out. And a lot of clips have been floating around. And they're in Montgomery. It's a predominantly African-American high school. They have this little drum major named Justin. He's a Caucasian young man who is getting his life. And let me tell you, the clips are phenomenal. The band sounds good. They look good. And boy, little Justin be giving us life. So shout out to Jefferson David. I'm really enjoying seeing the footage and seeing the hype. You know, I teach at a very diverse school. So I love when I see diversity within our programs and seeing kids willing to embrace different styles. So shout out to them. My second shout out is to the Fires High School dance team. And I don't give high school shout outs often, but there's this group out of Miami Northwestern Senior High School. Their coach is Tracy Young, and they're called the Dynamic Dancing Dozen or something like that. And they have this super strut. But let me tell you, them videos, when I tell you them girls are like fire, when I tell you they will give any college team a run for their money. I'm enjoying the weekly post. Shout out Tracy. Shout out to the that team as a whole. So I'm giving them a shout out. And my last shout out is to the Morgan State University. They're actually playing the Ravens play the Patriots today. And so Morgan State band is playing with the Ravens band. They're doing a combined show. I think they're doing pregame or halftime show or something with the Ravens band. They're doing a combined show together. So shout out to them this Morgan State Day, I think, at the Ravens Patriot game. So good luck to them and shout out to them as well. All right. That's my shout out, y'all.
That's what's up, Bridget. That's what's up. We got a little bit of a feedback. Like it's a little bit of a delay on your phone. So just letting you know.
Okay, I'm on my computer actually. That's funny. Okay.
Yeah. So letting you know. Ernest, what's up, man?
Yes, sir.
Tell us what was going on. You had a couple things going on this week that I had wanted to tell the people about. So yeah, man, go ahead and tell us what, cause you put out a post and you had the presentation or the adjudication, if you will. So what was going on with Ernest Steakhouse this week?
Oh man, crazy week. Okay, so first of all, I am the president and CEO of a new music education association. It's called Advocates for Music and Music Education Association. It's centered around providing and supplementing support for band programs, mainly collegiate programs in the state of South Carolina. Now that does not is not specific to HBCUs. So it's programs across the board in South Carolina. So we, like when you sit around with a bunch of friends and you discuss things you would like to do, dreams you have. Well, this was born out of one of those types of discussions. And man, we've gotten so much support. We've gone through all the correct channels, became a nonprofit organization. We've gotten all our particular certifications and state awarded letters that we needed to form an organization. So we are official, and the official launch was November 1st. So we launched it at the 1st of November, and our first event, so to speak, will be at the SMEA conference this year, the South Carolina Music Educators Association in service. We're going to have a booth, we're going to have a table, we're going to provide a cocktail hour. on behalf of the organization. So this is a serious, legit initiative. I'm so excited to be the president and CEO of it, and uh, I've got an excellent team, very qualified from from many different universities. One guy's from Hampton, uh, someone from Benedict, someone from USC. Across the board in the state of South Carolina. So we are excited about what we're about to do in the state for higher learning, music programs, and if you are so interested in joining our cause, because our membership is open to anyone who considers themselves a music enthusiast or someone who is just passionate about helping school music programs, or you're a music educator, retired music educator, anyone who has any, I guess, wishes to give back in some regard, and you love band programs, you can join us at www.ammea.org, and we have different levels of membership, and all the information you need to know about the organization is there on the site. All our we have a board of directors, we have an e-board, and all our information and bios are listed there on the site. So I encourage everyone to, even if you're not, if you just want to know a little bit more about the organization and about who we are, just to visit the site and just learn a little bit about what we do and who we are. But that launched on November 1st. Then I had a band competition that I judged, as I was talking about in the opening. Former students band competition. Went back to Darlington. Hadn't been there in a while. I taught there from 2000 to 2008, and he was a student of mine. He went on to Bethune-Cookman, came back, is doing an excellent job at that program. I think he has like over 180 kids in the band program.
Wow.
Awesome. So if you haven't heard of Darlington Marching Falcon Band, the pride of the PD, go check it out, darlingtonbands.org. But had a great time catching up with old band parents and students. And if you visit my page, you'll see all my students hitting me up. They took pictures with me, and we did all kind of reminiscing. So it was just a great event, man. So I had a great weekend.
That's good, man. Give you a round of applause. That's what's up, man. Yeah, that sounds exciting. You definitely, when we talk about the matchups a little bit, we'll get a little bit about what you thought from the bands that performed there this weekend.
Yes.
For me, I want to give a shout out, and I know Bridget's an Orioles fan. We're gonna give a round of applause for the Washington Nationals.
Nationals.
Yes,
Yes.
the Washington Nationals. They won the World Series. I
Oh,
was
I'm hating
rooting
a little
on.
bit because I was in Houston last couple years
That's
ago when
right.
the Astros won. So I'm hating a little bit, but go Nationals. Go
Yeah,
Nationals.
man. The owner of the Astros actually went to my high school.
Oh,
And yeah,
wow.
he came back and donated a whole bunch of stuff to the school. When I was in school, we didn't play football on Friday nights because we didn't have lights. And he donated some lights to the school, and there's like a track now. So shout out to him. But then also Max Scherzer, who was the ace for the Nationals. Really good pitcher. He's from the greater St. Louis area, like way out in Chesterfield, for all the people that know the St. Louis area. So I was rooting on the Nationals mostly because I'm into baseball and the whole contract with Bryce Harper and everything. So it was really cool to see them. Plus, if anybody beats the Cardinals in the playoffs or any of my teams, I want that team to win because the excuse is it's a team of destiny. Like you just can't beat my squad and then just something else happened. You win the whole thing because this guy wanted that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
shout out to the Nationals, and then shout out to you, Ernest. I saw the post about you being the CEO leader, if you will, of that new group. So give another round of applause.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Excited.
You do big
Thank
things
you.
with that. And I think that's about it. Of course, shout out to my family. Shout out to my moms and everything. I think for the most part that was all of the shout outs I had. So we can move on with the rest of the show because I know we had to talk about the controversial performances this weekend. We had a couple of them. You know what I'm saying? So I want to ask you guys what you thought about them, and we'll definitely get into them. But we go ahead and if y'all have any other shout outs, we'll take our first commercial break. You listening to the 90 Degree Show. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. For all y'all doing big things in the chat room. Love the chat room. And shout out to y'all. Let's take the first commercial break. You listening to the 90 Degree Show. We'll be back to talk about the matchups from this weekend. Thanks for listening.
Your host, Joe Beard, and the 90 Degree Show will return in a moment.
Band directors, have you ever found yourselves in this situation? Showtime is quickly approaching. Your budget is quickly disappearing. Your music choices are narrowing. The equipment condition is wearing and your stress level is mounting. Stop what you're doing and contact Bluff Band Music and find out how we've got you. Check www.blockbandmusic.com, providing music, equipment, gear, and accessories to show style, core style, and traditional bands worldwide.
The source for fair and factual information on your favorite college bands, blockusup.com. Well-written articles, in-depth band performance analysis, helpful resources for band directors, fun band-related topics, and exclusive interviews with some of today's brightest and most talented leaders of college marching bands. Visit us at blockusup.com, the meeting place for band fans and band directors.
And now, more of the 90 Degree Show with your host, Joe Beard.
All right, you can unmute your microphone. And we are back. Our third sponsor is Bull City Music School. You guys contact Janetta Powell Smith at 919-423-5701. She has 2 locations, one in Hillsborough and one in Durham. But go check out Bull City Music School to get your piano or other musical lessons. They also have Bull City Music Store where you can get your own instruments as well. So contact Janetta at 919-423-5701 for Bull City Music School. All right, y'all. We are back. I wanted to ask you guys about what was going on this weekend with some of the performances. Okay. So, Ernest, I'm going to let you go first because you were at the actual band competition and you were there, not like the video. What college bands were there that you saw this weekend?
We saw North Carolina A&T and Benedict.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just go ahead and say it, man, that North Carolina A&T, those guys are on the level this year. I mean, they're always good, but the sound, I've even said, you know what, y'all don't sound the same when I see y'all live, when I see y'all on video. You know, the video sounds all perfectly balanced and, you know, just too perfect. And then when I see you live, I hear the exposure from certain instruments and I hear the balance issues and I hear the overblowing from certain sections. You know, typical A&T. And me hating a little bit. But this year, man, and last night in particular, I just heard a really, really good, balanced, clean sound from beginning to the end of the show. I mean, you could hear it was so strong and full. down to the flutes. I can hear the flute sitting on top of the trumpets, you know, and I'm all the way in the press box, and getting that sound up there, that clean and clear, was just impressive. So I'll just go ahead and say that I'm looking forward to seeing these Aggies in the Honda, and I'm looking forward to this show. I'm a fan now. I'm a believer. I'm not a fan. I'm a believer of the machine. I want to see what the machine got to do in the Honda. And of course, our other Honda band was in attendance, Benedict College. So they did well, of course. I had seen the show that they performed already this season, and I think I talked about that already. But they did a good performance. Wow, the crowd. A&T performed to the home crowd, to the audience. Benedict decided to perform to all the high school bands. So they ate that up. They ate up every last minute of it.
Right.
So every note they played, they were just, on the end of their mouthpiece the whole night. So I know they got some good recruitment out there. I won't be surprised if Benedict is over 200 next year.
Wow.
But it was 26 high school bands there. So
wow.
It was a big event. They had like 5 captions. 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A. So good recruiting opportunity, and North Carolina A&T and Benedict definitely capitalized. Both bands put on solid performances.
How did you say Benedict sound? How is Benedict?
Oh, really good, really good. They have a nice balanced sound. You know what? They remind me of a small Cookman, and I say that because not as far as marching and look, but as far as sound and approach to arrangement. I think their arrangers have the same methodology or something, but they have that wall of sound. Like you're not going to hear individuals, like when they're on the field, you're not going to hear individuals sticking out in sound. You're not going to hear certain sections louder than other sections unless it's supposed to be that way, melodically. So they have that approach. Cookman has a pretty strong sound too. So that's the only thing I think that's missing from Benedict right now. That's why I say they're a small Cookman, is they don't have that volume that Cookman has. And if they get that together, boy, it'll be trouble in the state of South Carolina.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. But all in all, the actual overall event was really nice, huh?
Really nice, man. Really nice. It was one. The weather was good. It was a little chilly, but the weather was good. No rain, no issues.
Right.
It was a really nice event.
Well, that's what's up, man. I'm glad you got to go to that. Round of applause for Ernest there for being there at Dalton. So, shout out to you. So yeah, we got A&T and Benedict. We talked about them a couple times. Not so much A&T, but Benedict a couple times. Bridget, who did you check out this weekend?
So, we're gonna talk about the big one later. So I'm gonna leave that one alone. But I did have an opportunity, which probably will lead us into the big one anyway, to see a little bit of the Miles K-State. I did watch a little bit of that. And they did a combined performance at the end of Praise Is What I Do, which was really a nice touch to see the unity of the kind of like the mass band thing at the end. I think K-State's director arranged Praise Is What I Do. Both bands did a really good job. They did a nice job with it. Shout out to the tuba section. Boy, they were solid. They were so solid. It definitely had the FAMU-ish feel to me. That whole play, sing with the tubas playing and whatever. But it was nice. It was really nice. And it's great to see that you can kind of battle, but you can also be cool. At the end, we're all family. So they did the gospel thing too. I know Joe loves it. I know Joe Baird loves it. They did the gospel thing too, but they did it together. So is there a winner or loser when they do it together? Whatever, Joe.
That's a good
if you didn't get a chance, I'm just saying. So You know we about to wear you out on this one. But shout out to those directors. I see Snipes is in there. He said he's in the chat room talking about some Miles sounds amazing. Whatever, Snipes. So shout out to them. But they really do. Miles and K State really do have nice sounding bands this year. So shout out to them as well.
Okay. Who else did you see this weekend, Bridget?
That's it. I watched some high schools. I told you I watched Jefferson Davis. I watched a little bit of that. I watched a little bit of them. But I spent my time on the Jackson State, the Sonic Boom. They played University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, and boy, oh boy, do I have a lot to say about this one. So when you're ready, you let me know when you're ready for me to talk about who I saw. I'm just saying. Let me know when you're
first. Ready. I would like you to go first because I don't have that much to say.
Really?
I'm Jackson State. Yeah, because it was Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that much to say. I'm holding. So yeah, Bridget, just
no, don't get quiet now.
All right,
no.
Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now. We'll go ahead.
So Jackson State.
Wait a minute. Before we
don't have nothing to say, but then he gonna start.
Let's remind the audience about the rules of engagement.
That's right.
According to Joe.
According to Joe.
According to Joe. So let me clarify. The disclaimer is these are the views of only Joe Bear, not of Bridget Bell or Ernest Stackhouse. But go ahead, Joe. You say what you got to say.
Okay. So Jackson State, the greatest marching band in the galaxy, played Arkansas Pine Bluff. I don't know where Pine Bluff is. Pine Bluff, however, has a good band, but I sleep on them every year because they're like the band that adds the meat to the sandwich and the swag, but like sometimes people don't pay attention to them too much. But they actually sound, and they are a legitimate sounding band. You know, I don't know, I guess the politics and all plays in, but they are actually really good. And they had a really good performance this weekend. However, Jackson State, usually they sleep on Pine Bluff, so you don't really expect their shows to be like whatever. But Jackson State this weekend did a whole church service. And, against Pine Bluff. And I don't know how I feel about that.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Well,
tell us how you feel about gospel shows, and then we're going to talk about this. Tell us what you said. Don't make us pull up previous episodes. Tell us what you said about gospel shows. Come on, we want to hear this.
Well,
come on.
It's a gimmick. Gospel shows are a gimmick to me because don't be bringing up Jesus in the conversation. Nobody's going to boo Jesus. Okay? So when you be like, oh, what was it? It's like, oh, I feel it too. It's like, I ain't got nothing to do with the band, though. You know what I'm saying? So I saw Miles and I saw Kentucky State. And I think they gave tribute to a student that passed. So I got an amendment to the rules, guys. So here's what it is. If you do like a tribute for somebody, like at the end, that don't count towards your show, and that allows you to play a gospel tune at halftime.
So hold on. Wait a minute, then.
Okay.
Because this Jackson State show was a tribute to breast cancer.
Yeah, see, okay, well, it's like, okay, so breast cancer is like overall, right? So, like, if you gonna do that, that's still in that gimmick range, man, where it's like, you still reaching out to a whole bunch of people that have breast cancer, and we already praying for them already. I need you to come on the field and crank, do something, so I don't think about it for a second, because I'm already depressed, okay? I'm coming to the band. I want to see some ignorance.
Joe, they put pray on the field.
See, that's what I'm saying, Ernest. That's what I'm saying, Ernest. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to see that's gonna make me start crying. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that to me.
No, but that's the heart. That's the heart of it. So this is what we gotta talk about, Joe. We're gonna help you out, okay? So there's several things we got to look at. We got to look at music culture as it relates to HBCUs. And if you look at the genre of music that represent who we are, we cannot eliminate gospel music. And it does not mean that gospel music is a gimmick. So we have R&B, we have soul, we have jazz, but the very core of of Black people is spiritual music and it's gospel music. And so for us to overlook that in our culture of HBCU bands is absolutely ridiculous when that's the absolute core of us. So I want you to think about this. And sorry, I got the red suit on for first Sunday, so y'all got the PK today. Y'all gonna get the PK. You're gonna get a little bit of the PK today, especially since we're talking about this gospel show. So we're gonna talk about this. Let me tell you, first of all, I'm gonna put this out there, and my band director friends, y'all can be a little bit mad, but whatever. But when I say if I had to give the band for this year, especially after this weekend, when I say that probably one of the most outstanding bands I've seen solid this year is Jackson State. I got to give it to them. I cannot take it away from them. And they know how to appeal to every part of who we are as humans. Body, soul, spirit. We get all excited. That's just the core of who we are. So they hit the spirit realm this week. And when I tell you, I would have loved to have been in on their band rehearsal to see what the band room experience was like, because what they put on the field was like, whoa, baby. I don't know if y'all ever had that moment where you were practicing something in the band room and the whole room is just like, whoa. There was like a shift in the whole room because it was so powerful, because it's just the essence of music. I remember Morgan State, Mr. Miles wrote a song. I can't think. I'm gonna tell you the name of the song in a minute. And when I tell you, people was running all out the bedroom door because that thing was just so powerful. And so to see what they put on the field, I know that band room experience was like, whoa. Because that drum major, when I tell you that boy sang on the field,
Yeah, he's saying that now.
and that's not even show. That's who they are. So you can tell that that's a part of who, because you don't do that. You don't just practice that. That's who he is. He's a praise and worship leader or something. I would love to see what he does in the role of his church, but he's something to be able to do in that. And so to tie that into breast cancer, the struggle that people have it, and plus the tradition of spiritual church music is just absolutely phenomenal. The show was well planned. Everything from the dancer feature. I don't know if you saw the whole thing, because the first thing I saw was the clip of the concert selection. And so the concert selection was amazing. From there, after they did the Tiger Run on, they did the downfield drill. I'm just like, the downfield drill was good. The dancer piece, very tasteful, very tasteful. Even their costumes were different this week. But that concert selection, Chisholm told me who the arranger was. I think the last name is Brown. I can't remember who it was. Outstanding job. The band sounded great. They sounded great, and that is not a gimmick. So as a band director, we don't sit in the room and say, oh, let me plan this. That's not how band directors usually plan. Usually it comes from that creative side. And if a part of your creative side is that spiritual side, then it's going to kind of flow in there. Most Black band directors, at some point, they like doing a gospel show because they know that represents so much of our culture. So, Joe, I'm sorry, that's not a gimmick. I have not seen Jackson State take an L this year. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. This is no way, shape, or form an L for them. This was probably one of the best. I'm going to say this. This is the best gospel show that I have seen. This for me, this was the best that I've seen, period. And I've seen quite a few gospel shows, attempts at gospel shows, but this was one of the best gospel shows that I've seen. Arkansas Flying Buff did a standard show. It was cool. It's hard to probably go into Jackson State and play. And, they had some little glitches, but we're in a day and age where it's even hard to kind of plan and get a crowd excited because they've seen everything. Everybody do the same thing. Downfield, dancer between shake, 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 we done. So how do you now get the crowd excited? Man, that crowd, you do anything spiritual, Black folks will get excited because that's just the essence of who we are. And that's not a gimmick. That's just that's actually reaching your crowd. So sorry, Joe, I disagree with you.
Yeah, and it's not a popular view. But I mean everything you said, that's why I'm like, shout out to the chat room. What's the brother that said this dude is off his rocker? Shout out to you, brother. Yeah, I am.
Javon,
but guess what,
my
brother?
brother
That's my opinion. I'm gonna stick it to it, and I say it to your face. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel about it. I do agree with a lot of what you said, Bridget. I just feel sometimes I don't know, man. When to pull into that, when to pull into that, to that bucket, if you will. I'm not really sure when. I'm just not a fan of it. I'm also not a fan of people singing on the field. And Lord have mercy, the drum major came out there and sang. I was just like, oh man, this is just, oh, it's horrible. But that's me.
What?
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan when people pull out a microphone and sing with the band. I'm just not a fan. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. I do think though that they executed the show well. They made a lot of different things. They made Pray, the breast cancer. Even I have to say with Kentucky and Miles, like when they sang, like I'm not a fan of people singing on the field, but they broke and sang for a second, and then brought the house in at the end. So that movement right there is like I feel you. I was like, oh, that was kind of dope right there, you know. But yeah, I just feel like nobody's gonna ever like say that wasn't a good show because it was a gospel show. Because we talk about a whole bunch of feelings, and like the feeling between the
Right.
feelings and like, oh man, that was a really good show, or they really showed up. It gets blurry to me because I just feel like depending on who it is or where you're doing, you're gonna get a certain reaction out of people, and it just what it is. It's just my opinion. The
But
tributes,
sometimes you get the oh, that was nice, good job, or you get the whoa, what a show. I got the whoa, what a show.
but have you
It's not.
seen?
It wasn't that it was just nice. Like the whole show planning, I thought was really good. The band sounded good. They executed well, absolutely. The actual designs and the shapes that they put on the field was great. Like, come on, Joe, you can't discredit you. How do you discredit your own school? Number one, let's talk about that.
I'm not discrediting. I'm just saying. Okay, let me ask you this: has someone ever put on a gospel show and you were like, "Oh my God, that was horrible"?
So most of the gospel shows I don't see is a complete gospel show. Most people do like a tune or two.
But a
And then you're like,
show,
oh, and it's not that we go, oh, it's horrible. It's like, oh, that was nice, and it was clap clap. It doesn't
but
pull
but
necessarily
but
on the
what if it
emotions of
was
excitement.
horrible though? That's what I'm saying. But what if it
Then what
was
was saying
bad?
was horrible. Then
I
we
ain't heard that yet. That's what I'm saying. I ain't heard nobody say, "Man, y'all heard they played Praise What I Do? That was horrible, yo." Or did you see that gospel show? Man,
I
they
mean,
should have
you
kept
got a
that
point.
baby.
You got a point, yeah,
Because
you
what I'm
do have
saying,
a point.
you will never hear someone say, "Oh my God, Jackson State show they did a breast cancer. Did you see the A and the pray wasn't really it was really crooked." You know what I'm saying? You don't be hear that criticism that we pour in on folks when they bringing up God, because it's halfway like, "Whoop, let me not say something bad before I get struck by lightning." Like you know what I'm saying? So I just feel it's a different type of emotion than seeing it. The tributes, and then the dude I just brought up, what is Juan uh, Juan O. Pollard Sr. He said that it was to
Devon,
it was to
Devon.
the person the girl that was killed. So I get it. So that tribute to her, I get it. But I'm talking about the actual performance. Has anyone ever done a gospel performance like at a adjudication or like or a competition like that or anything like that y'all know of?
Well, didn't Miles do like a gospel show at the Honda one year or something?
They did it at in Charlotte, but let me tell you, the whole audience was singing. Like the whole audience, they did a
Yeah,
great job on that piece.
But
Like
it's
they did how excellent. They didn't do a whole show, but they
yeah,
did how,
that's right.
and they might have done something at Honda too, but they did the how excellent. That how excellent was like really good. It was really good. Like
Hmm.
I haven't seen too many who haven't, because most people do it just as their concert selection. And so I
Right.
haven't seen any that I've been like, oh, but understand it. I'm that person that be like, oh, that was bad. Because I'm not scared. I have common sense to know that God ain't going to strike me down because I don't like somebody's band show. Like,
I
he
ain't
might,
heard it though.
God might, God might not like, you might not have heard it because maybe there hasn't been any that I've seen. I'm like, ooh, that was terrible. But if it was, you need to understand, bro. Bridget is that one that'll be like, nah, bro, y'all need to take that back to the drawing board. Because I'm not afraid of being struck down because I didn't like somebody's show. That's just, to me, that's ludicrous. That's absolutely ludicrous.
No, I hear
But
you.
most
I'm
time
just
the
saying.
concert selections are nice. I think sometimes they're a nice touch. But this whole planning of the show, I think they did a good job
Oh
overall.
well, yeah. I think the show was good, and of course, Jackson State does some great drills. So even them with the pray and the ribbon. I mean,
Yeah,
like, I mean,
drill work was good.
I ain't complaining about the show, Bridget. It's just, oh, like it's too much where I got emotions about what the performance is and not the actual performance. For instance, is the honeybees gonna come out on the gospel selection?
Nope.
So there is something mentally there, like that we there's certain lines we ain't crossing
How are
sometimes.
we on the honeybee?
So,
How are we
so,
on
so,
the
so
honeybee? That's a whole different band.
well, I understand what he's saying. He's saying like there's a gimmick line that has been crossed because you're not using the honeybees. You got this new gimmick.
You gonna pray Jesus, but you gonna clean up your act so much. But then you gonna play Little Baby, and then the Little Baby tiger's gonna come out there and start popping. You know what I'm saying? That's
Don't
all I'm
laugh at
saying.
him. He's foolish.
Come on, man.
He's foolish.
See, I'm trying to just have some
I'm
interesting
sorry.
takes. I'm
He's
just trying to have
foolish.
some real
He's
takes,
foolish.
Bridget. And it's not so much I'm going against Jesus or God. I'm just saying when you doing a show, a gospel show, it's pulling a certain type of emotion where you're not gonna be as critical about that show as you are with something.